Are you coming over here or are you going to stay over there? Eh? Hello, pal, and welcome to the books that I've read in 2022. I wish that I looked a bit better, but I'm a new pet parent now. So this is what you get. You get a hoodie, you get some sweatpants, and some blankets. Feel free to follow me on Storygraph. It is the same as Goodreads, but it's not owned by Amazon. And it's a good day when things are not owned by Amazon. Am I right? You can track what I've read, what I'm reading, and what I want to read. There's a lot of booktubers on YouTube, and it seems that the average for people who read a lot is about 30 books. I read about 10 books. Half of them were audiobooks, but they still count. One of those books took me so long to read, but we'll get into it. I don't know if you can see him, but this is Kiwi. Nice. Kiwi, Pal, Kiwi. See what I did there? The dog from Arthur is named Pal, and that's what I call you, because you're my pal. Okay. I've always read very slowly. I often fell behind in English class when we had to do readings and stuff. So I have a complicated relationship with reading, but I know that I'm not alone with that. I know that there's a lot of people who have like a taste about reading because, school may have made it a bit annoying because of the deadlines. The read 30 pages by Friday, and you're like, it's Thursday and I'm on page 1. But anyway, this is a list of books that I've read, my thoughts on them, and I'm gonna rate them. And obviously I have no idea. I'm not a literature connoisseur, so know that my ratings mean nothing, and that it is just my opinion, how it digested in my system. I did eat all of these books, hence why I'm talking about digestion. So let's get right into it.
Oh, I'm just a sleepy boy, being all sleepy, and I'm sleepy. Oh, it's a stormy day, and I'm sleepy.
Okay. The first book that I read this year was The Bell Jar by Sylvia Plath. This is 1950s America. There is heavy mental illness. There is physical sickness, okay? This book is written like a daisy. If a daisy were to be written, it would be this book. Does that make sense? If it doesn't make sense, make it make sense. It just makes a comment on how mental illness was treated in the 1950s versus how it's treated today, and also how it is different, but also not so different now. It's the stigma, baby. It's the stigma. The Bell Jar was written in 1961 by Sylvia Plath. I believe it is the only book that Sylvia Plath has written. I give this one a 10 out of 10. We are starting the year off with a bang, okay? Anyway. Now, if you know me, you know that I love me some nonfiction, educational, psychological, scientific-ass books. So one of my amazing friends has this condition, and she's had it since middle school, and I came across this book called ADHD 2.0, and I thought to myself, you know what, I'm gonna read this. And I'm going to see what it's like to be my friend who has ADHD. And maybe I can be better and not just say, oh, it's easy. Just get an agenda. Just get a calendar. Because it's not like that at all. So this book, ADHD 2.0 by Edward M. Hallowell, MD, and John J. Ratey, MD, made me go, oh. I listened to the audiobook from my local library. I think it's great if you're questioning if you have ADHD or if you just want to know more about it. Rating is 8 out of 10. This book has been on my roster for a long time. When I heard the title of this book, The Body Keeps the Score, I didn't really think that it was for me. I didn't think that it would really help me. It kind of scared me, to be honest. The title itself made me think of my own mortality. And I was like, I don't know if I'm ready for this right now. That's heavy. The Body Keeps the Score by Bessel van der Kolk is another non-fiction, educational, psychology, scientist shit moment, and I was here for it. Like I said, it is heavy, and there were times that I did have to take a break because I felt like too validated. So as somebody who suffers from anxiety and who disassociates and has symptoms of PTSD, I felt seen, I felt heard, and I loved it. I recommend it. Rating is 9.5 out of 10. Yes, we are doing 0.5s over here because that's who I am. Take it or leave it. Make sure you subscribe. I think The Best of Me by David Sedaris is either my second or third book that I've read by Mr. Sedaris. The first one being A Carnival of Snackery, and that one was amazing. And that's when I fell in love with David Sedaris's writing. Dave Sedaris, if you recognize the last name, he has a sibling named Amy Sedaris. She's great. Where isn't the bathroom? Dave Sedaris is so fucking funny, but he's also so deep, and the way that he puts things into words is excellent. If anyone wants to get me a physical copy of one of these two books by him, please feel free to do so. Like, if I had to write a book about my life, this is how I would want it to be written. I rate this one 8 out of 10. We do have another nonfiction book. This was my first time listening to a Brene Brown audiobook. She's got something to say. There is a field of work and study, and I've been recommended her books for a while now. So I sat down and I listened to Dare to Lead by Brene Brown at a time when I was thinking to myself, how can I be a better human, not only in society, but in my personal relationships? How can I be a better coworker, a better collaborator, a better friend? It was very helpful. I learned phrases such as tell me more, and what I'm hearing you say is. I don't really say what I'm hearing you say is. I do use tell me more a lot, and it's been groundbreaking. Another 8 out of 10. Okay, so I've been hearing raving reviews about 1984 by George Orwell. There is a large portion of this book where I wanted to give up. I'm not gonna lie. I was thinking to myself that this is going to be one of those books where everybody recommends it and I just don't vibe with it, which is fine. And when I tell you that shit hit the fan and my ass said, hello, there were some parts that I just couldn't wrap my head around that were sci-fi political. But yeah, there were some sections like that where I just kind of had to skim over. And that isn't necessarily always a bad thing, because for me, it was I literally can't wait to see what happens next that I need to skim. Or it's just kind of these are a lot of details, and do I need to write all of this down? Dystopian society, war, famine, surveillance, all right here in 1984 by George Orwell. I give this 7 out of 10. Please don't come for me. It's not you, it's me. The next book that I read was The Midnight Library by Matt Haig. The main character basically gets stuck in this sort of purgatory library, and she gets a lot of chances to make herself a new life. And I really, really love the idea of this book, but I was not a fan of the execution. I'm still trying to piece together an actual opinion just because it's so personal. My taste towards this is very personal. And it doesn't necessarily mean that it's, a bad book or anything. It just did not resonate with me. I thought it was really corny, and I thought that I think it's a good book if you've never read The Alchemist, because this is basically the unidentical twin of The Alchemist. I understood it, I got it, but it's not my cup of tea. I give this one a 4 out of 10. I'm sorry. I'm Glad My Mom Died by Jeanette McCurdy. I really don't have much to say other than it was really good. It's very heavy. It can be very triggering, but like the way that she uses imagery in her writing is phenomenal. 10 out of 10 for sure. So I bought this next book when I was at the art gallery and I went to the gift shop. Make Your Art No Matter What is a book written by Beth Pickens. She's kind of like an artist consultant and has a master's in counseling. So that's good. She talks about asking, that is, asking for help. It explores the idea of going to school for art or not going to school for art. It talks about having a buddy or a few buddies in your art community. It was good. I learned some things. I gave it a 6.5 out of 10. That was it for the books that I read in 2022. Thank you so much for watching, and a huge, massive thank you to our patrons. You guys are the best, and hope you guys have a wonderful 2023. See you soon.